Coventry, who have gone to Sheffield United and won 2-1. They have won 3 in a row. They appear to have sorted out, or certainly dusted their away problems to one side. And this feels like a really, really big, decisive moment in the season. The narrative, obviously, went trended down and down and down so gradually for Coventry. They had such margin for error after 11 wins in 12 through the winter. And then we got the overtake. Now was the time for Middlesbrough, we thought, to go off and take the championship title. But what has happened since that very moment that Middlesbrough took top spot with that win at Bramall Lane, in fact, is that Borough have taken 2 points and Coventry have taken 9, and they have beaten Middlesbrough into the bargain as well. This feels like a big swing. Are we? Tell me in the comments right now. Are we going to be sat at the end of the season and say, look, when the going really got tough, Middlesbrough hit top spot, Coventry were really up against it, were they going to just disintegrate into the playoff spots? No, it has swung completely the other direction. Fair play, Frank Lampard. I know I often bat for Frank because of the sheer nonsense, delusional conversation we get about a very famous world-class footballer managing in the Championship. But he may be about to have the last laugh on the doubters for sure here. So, 5 points gap over Borough. That's a title gap. I know Championship fans always tell me they don't care about the title. I mean, they do when it appears, but I get it. Finish in the top 2. 5 point title gap. It is a 9 point automatic promotion cushion. I don't believe in the nonsense of adding 3 points on for games in hand. Life doesn't work like that. Ipswich's points per game is not 2. So if you're adding 2 points on, yes, you could argue that Ipswich could be at 61 rather than 57. That would still be a 7 point automatic promotion gap. Hull are there as well. Again, be generous. Add 2 points on for a game in hand there if you're doing projection type stuff, which seems to trigger people a lot on Twitter whenever I do that. But hey, football fans. So there are 12 games to go. Forget the number in terms of the gap. We are ticking the games off thick and fast. We go again at the weekend. That'll be round 35 up. And the bookies and the market, it took them a while to swing in Borough's favour. They are straight back on. Coventry City are odds on to win the Championship title. And they had to come back from behind. Harrison Burrows, it was 0-0 at half-time. Harrison Burrows gave Blades the lead. And then a quick bang, Hadji Wright and Jack Rudoni with the goals. As I say, 3 wins in a row, and they've got the potential for a 9-point week. Stoke at home at the end of the week, and then, they get a break. I think Ipswich go in midweek with a game in hand against Hull, so that will also be Hull's game in hand gone. This is really on for Coventry now. It feels like get this next bit right, and they are so close. You can almost touch it, can't you? They're also back to 2 points per game there. 68 points now. And I mentioned the away form. This is so vital, isn't it? I spoke to so many Coventry fans and they said, well, Ben, if we can just, be competent away from home. And I tell you what, back-to-back wins, West Brom and now Sheffield United, even if it slips off, just a quick couple of wins just pads the total ever so nicely, doesn't it? To the point where, what do we got? Coventry in the away table. No way. Are they top of the away table? That's absurd. There you go. So you can talk about Coventry's away form all you like. Those back-to-back wins and that 6 point. I didn't know that. I genuinely just clicked on it on FootMob. So go figure. It has not been a vintage season away from home. We've spoken about so many teams in the Championship Even like the likes of West Brom, who were doing really well at home and couldn't win away from home. Birmingham had the same thing, didn't they? Coventry, obviously, infamously here. Ipswich have scored very well at home and not really done it on the road. It's just not been a good season travelling. So that's blown my mind a little bit. I'm going to double check it. The fact that I click on the away table, and not only have Coventry sorted out their away issues, they've accumulated now more points on the road than any other side. They've played more games, but the numbers work for getting you over the line and getting promoted for sure, don't they? For Cov, Hadji Wright, he was much maligned really when they were struggling. It was a bit of a case of he needs to contribute more, and in tight games, can he pop up and win them? Well, he's come up big style, hasn't he, in the last few games? He's now on to 14 goals. He's got the winner here. Obviously put the hat-trick in against Borough, didn't he? And Jack Rudoni, I can repeat exactly what I said at the weekend. This was a guy who was potentially one of the best players in the league at the back end of last season. He was definitely a key man for Coventry. Everybody loves the comparison between him and the manager. Obviously, Frank Lampard, if you didn't see him play, if you're a young subscriber, there has been nobody better at arriving in midfield and scoring literally hundreds of goals across an amazing career. And Rodoni's back at it. And I said it'd kind of be like having a new player, because, you know, injuries and form, frankly, didn't contribute anywhere near what he did at the end of last season. And he's now scored a brilliant goal at the weekend, and a textbook arrived in the box, glanced their header in. Lampard was very humble in the press conference and said, well, I wouldn't have scored that goal because he's better in the air than me. But the point stands that Rodoni is now contributing at just the vital time of the season. And I always think, as you come into the last 5 or 6 games, you know, it can be too late when you get to the last 5 if the work has been done in this period right now. And that's why everyone talks about Easter, isn't it? Can you get into Easter and just give yourself one game? Or, as you know, if we're going to do the projection thing and give Ipswich 61, given the games in hand, a 7-point gap is 2 spare games. So it really is. I know lots of people got very triggered by me talking about margin for error earlier in the season. They used all that up, and they're building it up again, Coventry. This feels big.